Good afternoon, guys. How we going? Week 2 in the books. Hopefully I'm starting to get past some of the issues with recording equipment, and I can actually reach out and possibly try and get some people on here with me. I didn't want to do it while I was having all these issues, so everything seems to be running smoothly this afternoon, so time will tell whether that's going to stay that way or not. So mic and everything hooked up straight away. Camera seems to be working fine. Fingers crossed, onwards and upwards. Bit of a glitch then. Anyway, alright, here goes. See how we go. Alright, recap on last week. Look at the standings anyway. Here we go. So, Jake has continued his hot start. He's off to 4-0 start. Kenneth sitting there at 3-1. Be more than happy with that. 2-2 for Davo. And both myself and Joey managed to get off the goose egg this week, with one with a head-to-head win, the other with a top 5 score win. So, in the other conference, both Matt and Spirit both off to a 3-1 start. The champ bounces back after a extremely bad week 1 to grab a bonus point win as well as a win last week. Jared sitting on 1-3, and the only 0-4 team in the league, the Philadelphia Eagles, Robbie, off to an 0-4 start. Not ideal, but definitely far from buried at this point. Survivor. We're all still going. I can't fact check this because I can't go back and actually look at it, but I'm fairly certain we've never had everyone get out of week 1, let alone have everyone get out of week 2. Pretty interesting. We almost all used Baltimore up last week. So, yeah. And the tipping, Dave's got a slight lead, only marginally, over pretty much most of the league, actually. There's only a point between, 7 teams. So, and the other 2 teams are only 2 points behind those guys, and Jared sitting at the bottom, 3 points behind those. So, yeah. It is refreshing to see that we've all made at least into week 3 for Survivor. There's probably a game or 2 this week that actually look fairly solid locks for Survivor, and it's going to be interesting to see how many people use them up. So, probably a game tomorrow that I think might get some action. Alright, let's have a look at last week's results. Extremely close game between Kenneth and Robbie. Where we got basically a 7.46 points margin. At the end of the day, you're from Kenneth's perspective, you take a win however you can get it. So, probably, there's always going to be guys you've left on the bench that could have made a difference. Whether you're actually ever entertained starting them or not's another thing. But yeah, look, not a particularly high scoring game. I haven't looked at the results properly enough to know whether there was another lower scoring winner. But like I say, at the end of the day, if you can win your head-to-head matchups, that's a pretty damn good start in this league. So, and unfortunately for Robbie, they off to the 0-4 start. Akron Pros, Canton Bulldogs, pretty easy win for Jake. It's a fair. I don't think this was ever particularly close. Not considering the amount of players that Jake still had running. Yeah, I remember looking at it on Monday Arvo when I got home from work and saw the scores, and I thought, yeah, there's really no chance at all that Joey was going to hang on for a win. Luckily for him, after the 0-2 in week 1, he had plenty of points sitting there, and was able to pull away with a bonus point win, bonus win at least for the top 5 scorer. Otherwise, he would have been sitting there with Robbie on 0-4. Had a huge game from Amon Ra St. Brown. I didn't touch on that in the first game. Any massive... Oh, Drake May had a cracker of a game. Nearly 40 points from your QBs. That's pretty damn good. Brian Burns had a game. Kayvon Thibodeau. Brian Branch had a huge game. Yeah, just a couple of big games there. Oh, yeah, obviously, here we go. Yeah, Amon Ra, yeah, fuck me dead. Bears, so hard to watch, man. Yeah, they look like one of the 5 worst teams, at least in the NFC, if not in the NFL. Was not good. They very dysfunctional, that team. There's a lot of problems deep down. The only concerning thing for Joey, I mean, we're all going to have this. Big performance from Lamar, pushing 40 points. Here we go. The camera issues have begun. Yeah, I'm going to turn it off, lads. I'd love to keep it going. I was hoping whatever the issue is might have resolved itself, but I'd just done an update a couple of days ago on the software again. I was hoping it might have been a glitch somewhere in amongst that, but anyway, yeah, the concerning thing for Joey, he's gotten some monster games here. Roquan Smith's 50 points. I mean, you're not getting 50 points out of a linebacker very often at all. Amon-Ra St. Brown's 50 points. I won't say you won't get that out of wide receivers. You can, quite easily. And Lamar, like, there's about 140 odd points of his score. They're not generally, outside of probably Lamar, they're not generally the repeatable scores that can happen on a consistent basis. So obviously other guys are going to need to step in there. But we'll see. I think he'll be just happy to get a decent solid performance out of his team. So, and Jake's, yeah, Jonathan Taylor had a huge game. Good games there from Adams and CeeDee Lamb. Big game from Dan Henley, who I think I saw it on Tuesday morning. They added him to the injury report. So that he's actually doubtful whether he was going to play. So, comes out and puts up nearly a 50 burger. So, anyway. What do they say in there? Oh, here we go. Akron Pros drew the short straw of the schedule this week, as their point total would have resulted in a win against eight of the other opponent of 7 out of 8 of the other opponents. Yes, hence the reason why we've got the league set up like we do. At least you're getting something for it. If you're sitting there at 0-2 because you've had a good score and not won, then and come away absolutely empty-handed, and that's a little bit harder to swallow, I guess. But good games from both guys. Jake, I've said it plenty of times. He's the favourite, and he's going to be hard to beat. So, see how it goes. All right. Myself up against Davo. Comfortable win in the end. Coming into after Sunday night, I felt pretty confident. Then I think Danielle Hunter scored nearly a 40-point game, and yeah, I felt like I was pretty safe at that point. So, yeah, I mean, there's ridiculous things that happen in fantasy football that can always derail that. So, and you got absolutely no control over that. But yeah, I felt pretty confident once that had happened. I still don't think I've got a particularly good team, but I'll take the win. I don't think there's going to be a lot of them this year. So, there's probably. I don't like Burrow going down with Browning coming in. Well, it might work out alright, but yeah, it's pretty. It's hard to have a huge amount of confidence in Chase on a week-to-week basis now. I know it's worked out fine for him last week, but God, who are they playing? Cincy. Oh, Jacksonville. I don't think Jacksonville's defensive backs or secondary or anything are particularly great. So, and I think any pass rush in the league would look pretty damn good up against Cincinnati's offensive line, which is like paper mache. Davo didn't have a good week. Had a couple of good performances, but had a lot of really average ones. A lot of his defense didn't even crack double figures. So after I think in week one he had the highest score in defense. There goes the camera again. I'm pretty damn sure his defense scored the most points in week one, and last week it shit the bed pretty much. So yeah. So bad luck, Davo. Good luck for this week, but yeah, I'll take the win, man. Unfortunately, I think I finished 6th overall scorer, so shit happens. I think Paddy got me. I think Paddy was the lowest one. It was about 7 or 8 points higher. So yeah. All right. Bears up against the Saints. Spirit and Matt. Probably the two best teams in that conference up against each other. Pretty damn close score, really. Anything 20, 30 points generally means it could have gone anywhere. So, some big scores in the game. Jared Goff had an enormous game against the Bears, who are awful. Byron Young had a massive game. He had a strip sack. A couple of one. Yeah, a couple of sacks plus one of them was a strip sack. Yeah, but pretty Pretty good game between these two. I actually would have made this one the game of the week. I don't know. I know why the system picks the other one, just because of the closeness of the result. But yeah, I would have thought this was the better game. It wasn't like it was a blowout at all. Nearly about 18-point difference. So, Kyle Granderson's had a huge start to the season. That is definitely going to quieten up. There's no way in the world he's going to keep that pace up. I think he had about 40 in week one. So, yeah. Congrats to Matt, and congrats to the Spirit for the bonus win at least. So, Jared and excellent. No, we'll start with this one. Yeah, Paddy and Jared. Packers up against the Dolphins. Major quarterback problems for Jared. Fields, I'm not sure where he sits concussion-wise, how long he's out for, whether he's going to miss this week's game or not, but that would be a definite chance. And Burrow's out for about 3 or 4 months, so yeah. For Paddy, just a good, solid performance where most of his team put up some good, solid points. Nothing outstanding, which is good, man. So if you're cracking outside of this dickhead Brandon Aubrey, that's if you're cracking 400 and you're not relying on 40, 50-point games from players, which are generally not repeatable. Certainly not consistently repeatable. Yeah, you're in a good place with those sorts of results. So as for Jared, yeah, he's had a slower start to the season too. So off to 1-3 start with a bunch of us in that sort of area. Yeah, look, once you lose both your quarterbacks in a matchup, it's pretty hard to win games. So it's a bit of bad luck there for Jared. So Paddy will take the 2 wins, especially after the first week he had. So one little transaction I'm going to touch on that poked its way through this afternoon. This little bloke here. So the Miami Dolphins have traded away Joe Burrow, who essentially is out for the season. I believe anyway. He's not out for the season, but could return late in season. Now, when I say 3 months, they're saying they've possibly. I don't know. We'll see. He might come back. He might make it back for the season in the late in the season. Probably depends on how the Bengals are going at the time. Anyway, so he gives up Joe Burrow. Robbie gives up Jaden Daniels and AJ Brown. Now, the and AJ Brown part probably is a little befuddling to me. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, not that I think AJ Brown's probably worth much at all anymore. Unfortunately, the Eagles just do not throw the ball well, and they don't even try to. Maybe that gets better, but yeah, he's pretty disappointing. But yeah, it just straight up Jaden Daniels for Joe Burrow probably would have made sense. don't know, man. For me, I'd prefer Burrow over Daniels. But not everyone's the same. And they're probably rated fairly close together. Quarterback wise in fantasy, so there'd be plenty of people that'd take Daniels over Burrow. So, no, I know leading into the season, a lot of the fantasy experts would have taken Daniels over Burrow. So, I'm not in that boat. I never will be in that boat. I just don't think Jaden Daniels is that great of a quarterback, to be honest. We'll see. Anyway, whatever. That's just my opinion. Obviously, look, Jared had to do something because he's got Fields, who is listed as out, ruled out this week, so he could easily spend a week or two on the sidelines. As far as I know, he's returned to practice, eh? Unlikely for week 3, though. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So, look, Jared had to make a move because he's got nothing. He would have had no quarterback at all this week. Starts Jaden Daniels, possibly starts Tyrod Taylor if you're really fucking desperate, but surely you just roll the dice on some position players and hope to Christ they can pick up the slack. The quarterback, yeah, especially with Tyrod Taylor. Like, Tyrod Taylor's not a great quarterback. So, anyway, week 3 previews. Daddy-O and Sonny-O. Jakey and Matt. Week 3 matchup. The Bears have never beaten the Canton Bulldogs in this league's history. It is only 2 years. 0-3 all time. 0-3. How's that? Oh yeah, so they would have 1 year where they played twice and 1 year where they played once. So, actually, I need to check that. I need to check that on our thing. Gotta remind me, chat, if you're actually watching this. Got to check and make sure the schedule's done up properly. So I know there's a game sitting there somewhere that needs to be changed around to suit how the standings finished last season. So, yeah, I don't know if I've done that yet. So, it's not hard to forget that one. So, anyway, this would be a very close game. According to Fantasy Sharks, they've got Jake as the favourite. And look, if I had to lean either way, I've been open in saying I thought Jake was the best team in the league, and I would lean that way for the win. But neither way would surprise me. I don't think there'll be much in this game at all. Let's see, fucking Travis Kelce starting to look old, starting to look real old. And isn't it good to see the Chiefs off to an 0-2 start? I'm not sure who they're even playing this week, but I'll touch on those games soon. Anyway, so yeah, I reckon Jakey for the win. But I think it will be a very tight game. All right. New Orleans Saints and the Buffalo All-Americans. So at the moment, McCarthy, I don't think he's playing. He's out at least a couple of weeks. Yeah. So Spirit's going to have to find another quarterback. No, he's got options. He's only got one option, really. I don't really think that Carson Wentz is one of those options. Oops. Maybe. I don't know if I've just killed my bloody thingy. Whoops. I might have. done well. Accidentally closed the camo app. Jesus. That's what happens when you're using multiple screens and just nudge across onto the X on the other screen. Anyway, the camera's still working anyway. Unbelievably. Yeah, look, I'm assuming Darnold will come into the starting lineup. Be interesting to see if Spirit wants to keep rolling the dice with a Marion Hampton, who has looked rather shithouse, to be honest. So Fantasy Sharks, you got Dave as a favourite here. Spirit holds a 3-1 all-time record against David, and the one loss. The one loss was the Titan Bowl Championship in year one, where Spirit's team didn't fire at all, and that game was over really fast because Dave's team scored great over the final month or so of the season. Well, certainly through the playoffs, his team played out of its skin. So, I don't know. I might throw Dave a bone here. I tip Dave to come away with a win here, but not with an enormous amount of confidence. Say it every week. These games are always got the propensity to be pretty damn close games. So, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Packers and Steamrollers. Both teams come in with 500 or better record after a horrific first week. Paddy's team bounced back with a pretty good performance last week. Good all-round team performance. Look, and Kenneth probably got a bit lucky on a matchup to get a win. But once again, you can only play what's in front of you. So, got some injuries though, Kenneth. I know that. I don't know if he's got anything to replace Alex Highsmith, but I know he's not playing this week. Probably lean slightly to Pat in this matchup, but there is a lot of uncertainties. Especially like for Pat, Justin Jefferson with fucking Carson Wentz at quarterback is not a favourable connection. But I'll slightly lean to Pat for a win here. I think it'll be a pretty close matchup, as Fantasy Pros say too. Lifetime, it's 2-2. This game can go either way, but just slightly leaning to Pat for a win here. Miami Dolphins up against the Staten Island Sabletons. What's our record? Currently, Jared holds a 2-1 record against me. I don't think either one of us is going particularly well. But just with the quarterback issues that Jared's got, I'll go slightly lean to me, but no confidence at all. My team's just not that good, I don't think. If we can get a win, we can get a win. We'll take it. But I think we're probably running into Jared at the right time. Although getting Daniels in probably helps him a bit. It'll still be a close game because my quarterbacks don't exactly light the world on fire either. So see how it goes. But just marginally lean towards myself though. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Akron Pros. Philly are 0-2 lifetime, so Joey has never lost to Robbie in this league. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Robbie's team. They're not scoring particularly well. And quarterback, I'm not sure where he's at quarterback wise. So you've got Burrow Browning. I'm assuming Burrow's going to go to IR. So he'll probably start Baker Mayfield and assuming Jalen Hurts. I don't know. Maybe Browning. I don't know. But yeah, look, I think Joey will get his first head-to-head win this week. Robbie's team it's not firing. What's his name? TJ Watt's a guy that he normally would have expected some pretty high scoring from most weeks, and he's starting to look old too. He's not scoring particularly well. I know that because we've got him in that bloody Judgment Day league, and he's been pretty much worthless there. So, but yeah, I'll lean to Joey coming away with a win. Hopefully for Robbie's sake, it turns around a bit for him, but it just doesn't look real flash at the moment. It's even the predictions, like point wise, by the same token, I don't know. Yeah, he's probably missing the quarterback out of there, which is probably a 30-point game, but yeah, I don't know. All right, this week's games. This is one of the games I was referring to that I think people may take the advantage of. I'll bump it up. Where are we? Ooh, there we go. Big screen. Yeah, all right. So yeah, obviously the Bills and Dolphins. I can't see the Dolphins winning this game. I can't see them getting particularly close either, to be honest. I think this is a game that some of our survivor tippers might be jumping on. And yeah, probably don't have a lot to talk about with that one. Raiders and Commanders. I think this is a very close to even money game. I don't think there's much in this game at all. I could very easily see the Raiders come away with a win. Did they? No, they lost to the Chargers the other night. But it wasn't a horrendously bad result for them. Trying to remember what the score was now. No, it won't show me there. It was like 20-9 or something like that. What was that? I think that's what it was. At 20-9. It might even tell me if I just click on them. No. Oh, there. Yeah, 29. There you go. Freaking hell. My brain's better than I thought it was. Or maybe I was just actually taking some notice of it when I oh God, what's going on? Everything's frozen. Am I still here? Camera's back. Yep, cool. Alright, we won't do that again, will we? Let's kill off that NFL thing. I don't know if that chewed up too much RAM or what happened. Anyway, yeah, I think this is a coin toss, this game. Raiders and Commanders, I don't think there's much in that at all. Not giving a tip. But yeah, I don't think you couldn't have a go at anyone for going either way. Falcons and Panthers, man. Panthers still think they should have won last week. They killed themselves early. Just some massive turnovers early. Put them out of that game, and they tried to make a comeback at the end, but what did it end up? It was only 5 points or something in the game, wasn't there? Yep, 27-22. Yeah, because they had the ball driving, trying to get a touchdown, but and Bryce Young, he looked like he was taking some steps at the end of last year to. Once after he come back from being benched, he looked like he was coming. He was actually making some progress, starting to look like a pretty good young NFL quarterback. But he hasn't looked good this year. Just some really bad overthrows. Don't know, man. And the Falcons team, they actually just look like they've got a good team. They smashed. I know the score doesn't say it. They absolutely kicked the Vikings' ass the other night. It was they never really looked like losing, so it's probably hard for them. I think they should have beaten Tampa Bay in the first week. They were a bit unlucky to lose that game. And they're going to be. I don't know. I actually had Carolina as a really good chance to win this division this year, but I think it doesn't look good. I'm not gonna. This camera's cooked now by the look of it. I'm not gonna get carried away and try and hang on to that. I think the Falcons should probably win this game. In Carolina makes it a bit tougher, but yeah, you'd be a game man tipping Carolina to win. Packers and Browns. No, the Browns. What was the score on that? The Browns are playing tough football. They're hanging around in games. It ended up. It got away from them last week. They just. Packers will win this game. Even in Cleveland, they're probably another survivor potential use. I'd say. Steelers and Patriots. Man. Pittsburgh can't stop the run at all. They made the Jets' offense look a hell of a lot better than it actually is, I think, in week 1. And they could not stop Seattle at all last week, and that's why they lost pretty comfortably in the end. But if you can't stop the run, man, that is a massive problem on defense. Because if you can't stop the run, you generally can't stop the pass either. Anyway, I could easily see the Patriots win this game. A bit surprised. I'm surprised they're underdogs, actually. I don't think there's much in that at all. Rams, Eagles. I don't think there's much in this game either. This will be a good game to watch. Probably better than anything the Bears are in. I don't know what time we're playing though, so I might not even see that game this week. I've got that as a coin flip as well. I don't think there's much in that game at all. Colts and Titans. There might be some crazy people willing to take the Colts as a survivor. If there's a game that the Colts could Colts themselves in, this is definitely one of them. Although apparently Davo's coming on the podcast to sing a song if they get to 5-0. I believe that's what I read in chat. So they should win, but the Titans they've kept games close. They aren't winning, but they've kept games close so far. What was that score last one? It was only I think there was only about a touchdown or so in that game. Oh no, a couple in the end. That's right. It got away a little bit late. That's right. But I mean, we'll see. The Titans are playing pretty tough footy, so I mean, if you want to draw a line through Denver, basically a touchdown result there, and it could be Could be a close game between these two. Jets and Buccaneers. I couldn't have the Jets. I probably wouldn't want him with Fields in there, and I definitely don't want him without him. So it's a possible survivor pick there. Actually, the Tampa Bay Bucks. There's a few of them this week, which generally means one of these what look to be pretty easy results is going to blow up in someone's face. It's usually how it works. Bengals Vikings. Colour me stupid here, but between Carson Wentz, so JJ McCarthy's out. I believe Aaron Jones is out too. And if I had to take a matchup between Jake Browning or Carson Wentz, I think I'd actually rather Jake Browning. Personally. Well, it's a long time since Carson Wentz has played anything decent, any type of decent football. I actually think this should be even money, even at the whatever the hell they call their stadium, the Vikings, Bank of America or something like that. Anyway, I think this is a coin flip game, to be honest, and I'd possibly lean towards the Bengals. Texans and Jaguars. Man. Texans should win. The Jags. I don't know. Lawrence. I don't know. He's a very disappointing quarterback. I'm sure his numbers probably look better than what his play looks, but his play does not look good. Yeah, look, I'd be more confident picking the Texans, and I mean CJ Stroud hasn't looked good either. So, but I just think the Texans have got a better football team. But it should be a close game. Saints and Seahawks. Seattle's not too bad. They blew an opportunity in week 1. Seattle. Did I say Saints and Seahawks? I think I did. Saints are playing better than their roster says they should, and I think it'll be a close-ish game. Probably close to what the handicap is. I don't think there'll be much more than a touchdown in it, but I just think Seattle's a better team. I don't have a lot of faith in Sam Darnold, who I don't know how he played last week. I don't think he had to do a great deal because I'm pretty sure they just ran all over Pittsburgh. So, and the Seattle's D's pretty good. The coach is obviously that's McDonald's background is his defensive forte. So, yeah, look, I could not pick the Saints to win this game. I think Seattle wins. It's hard to say how easy it'll be, but I think they'll just find a way to win this game. So, Broncos and Chargers. I think the Chargers are a damn good team, and I think the Broncos are a pretty good team if their quarterback can not shoot them in the foot. Played really good in the first half, I've been told. I haven't watched last week's game for the Broncos. Second half, he was very ordinary. Whereas the Chargers is playing good, solid football. Wins over Kansas City and the Raiders. And the Raiders played New England really well the first week. So, I think the Chargers win. But Cards and 49ers, the who gives a fuck bowl. Seriously, I can't believe that there's there's a way the Cardinals open up 3-0 and they're not that good a football team. Easily could have lost to the Saints in the first week. And outside of a ridiculous start to the game last week, they easily could have lost to the Panthers too. So they're finding ways to win. They come up against a Niners team that's pretty fucking dinged up right now. They've got a lot of guys out. And it probably speaks in the betting that Arizona, even with all those players out for 49ers, that 49ers are still favourite. But, man, there is nothing in that game. Arizona should win with the amount of players San Francisco's got out, but good luck tipping them. Cowboys and Bears. Fucking Bears are hopeless. I bashed Caleb, but probably a little bit in last week's podcast. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I thought he played a really good game last week. He made a couple of mistakes, and that's fine. I got no problems with that. I expect that none of these guys play mistake-free football. He was not the reason why they lost. The defense couldn't stop anything. And then, I don't know, man. I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel for this team. They're a bad football team at this point. Mind you, I don't think Dallas are a good football team either. So, this is going to be a pretty shit game. It'll probably be high scoring because I don't think either defense is particularly good. So for that reason, it might actually be entertaining to watch. But if you're a fan of either team, good fucking luck because it's going to be hard to watch. Very, very frustrating game, I think. No idea. It's a coin flip. Maybe slightly lean to the Bears at Soldier Field, but that's it. From a Bears point of view, I'd rather this game be in December than now. So, yeah, when the elements could actually come into it. Chiefs and Giants. Fuck, I would love to see the Giants win. It's not going to happen, but I would love to see it happen. Oh, that would be just remarkable. Yeah, it won't happen. Kansas City will win this game. Well, the Giants played well against Dallas last week, but I think it's just Dallas probably aren't that good of a football team. And, yeah, Giants. They might be able to keep the game close. We'll see. Fuck, it'd be great to see them win. Lions and Ravens. So the Lions bounced back last week. Whether it was a extremely bad Bears football team that made them look good. They looked really flat in week one. I didn't think the Ravens were anything special against the Browns. But obviously they come away with a pretty comfortable win in the end. But it was close for a fair while too. So, won't shock me if the Lions come out and win this game. And man, if the Ravens start 1-2, I'm not sure how that's going to look. But I don't. Once again, I don't think there's a lot in that game. And last game for the week. No, that was the last game for the week. That next one's the Friday game next week. Yeah, so Lions and Ravens Monday night football game. Yeah, it should be interesting. Should be a good game to watch it. It probably gives you a bit more of a barometer where Detroit is, and possibly even a barometer on exactly where the Ravens are right now too. So, all right, guys. I got nothing else to add. Good luck this week. Best of luck on the injury front for everyone. Camera fucking loves me. But, yeah. Best of luck to everyone in the games. Don't forget your tips in. Don't forget to get survivors in. Thanks, guys. See you, though.